Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Chase, and the point and the purpose of this video today is to explain my own anecdotal experience, evidence, stories of the benefits that I've received from waking up earlier. I want to preface this video with a couple of things. Number one is my natural circadian rhythm or set point is not to wake up early. I would say that my natural sleep cycle involves me going to sleep at 1 a.m. and waking up at about 9 a.m. So getting roughly 8 hours of sleep within that window. Your mileage will vary, your sleep schedule and circadian rhythm will vary. The point of this video is not to try to be obnoxious and convince you to become a morning person if you're a night owl. However, the point of this video is to illustrate the benefits of waking up earlier than you currently do. So let's say that you naturally wake up at 9 a.m., like me, for instance. If you gradually work yourself to waking up at, let's say, 8:30 a.m., 8 a.m., maybe gradually over time, getting down to even 7 a.m., will have huge benefits for your life. That is what I'm saying in this video. Waking up early is an arbitrary term. It's an arbitrary definition, right? What does early mean? Does it mean 8 a.m., 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, right? It's gonna vary for everybody. So that being said, I'm gonna dive into the benefits here. So the first benefit that I have seen in my life is waking up earlier allows you to be able to exercise before work. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Some of you might be thinking, oh, like I gotta exercise before work. This guy's just one of those dudes who's promoting fitness only. Hold on, real quick. Exercise can be something as simple as getting up, walking around your block. Let's say your block is a few hundred yards, right? Walking to one end of the street and walking back. And by getting up and being active first thing or close to first thing in the morning, that has a myriad and honestly could be another video itself. But there are multiple benefits that can be derived from exercising before work or early in the morning before you get busy. One of those being that you will have improved cognition and improved ability to think, which whether your job is a standard corporate job, whether you have your own business, whatever you're doing, improving your cognition is key, and that will lead you to more growth in whatever you're working on. Another thing is mood and mental health, and this is something that I personally hold near and dear to myself. Let's face it, if we have a better mood when we go into work or when we start our day, we have a better outlook on things, people are gonna like us more, our coworkers will like us more, we'll like ourselves more, and if we're more driven to get things done and be more motivated, which is another benefit of exercising before work, we're gonna start winning. Something I'll talk about with winning is it has a compounding effect that can bring massive benefits to your life. So, second point here is it reduces non-productive time. Think about it. The last few hours that we spend in our days are more likely than not spent unproductively. We might be watching YouTube videos. We might be playing video games. We're not doing things that are leveling us up, right? That are getting us where we want to be in life, oftentimes. So by waking up earlier, which would then, if you want to get the same amount of sleep in a night, would involve you going to bed earlier, you're going to be saving time on the back end. So then when you wake up earlier, you'll have more time to get things you need to get done before work or whatever you're doing. So another thing is that you will be fully awake before your work starts. And that's huge. That's a huge point that I bring up. How many of us, I know I have experiences with waking up 30 minutes before my shift starts and I have a 10-minute drive to get to work, right? So that involves me cussing at my alarm when it goes off in the morning, throwing on my clothes, getting in my car, and then just making a beeline for work. And then for the first few hours of work, right, you'll be trying to wake up, but you're at work, you're having to be productive. And to touch back onto the mood point I brought up, you're probably going to be cranky if you're trying to wake up at work. And that will cause not as much growth. That will cause others to be annoyed by you, to not want to be around you as much. And frankly, all of that set aside, if you're more miserable, that sucks. Let's reduce the amount of misery that you feel, that you face. All right. Getting up before most other people do, especially if you're on the end where you're getting up at 7 a.m. or earlier than 7 a.m., which is a time that is before most people wake up, that forces you to live in the moment. And that's important. Think about it. If you don't have the hustle and bustle of cars outside, of people talking outside, then that grounds you more in what's going on. And meditation is a wonderful practice that could be a separate video. A lot of people, myself included, need to work on meditation, need to do more meditation. It's a great practice. But by being immersed in what is going on in front of you, that is a meditative experience in and of itself. Which, leading on to the next point, it's great self-reflection time. And great self-reflection time, or just self-reflection time in general, is priceless. Think about it. When you are in a period of introspection, it allows you to go within yourself and really analyze or examine your habits, things you're doing that might be not super productive, like, going to bed too late, not waking up early enough. And by being methodical about how you spend your time, that will put you ahead of so many other people. And let's face it, a lot of other people are competition. That doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them, but if you have a leg up over most people in making your life more productive and better structured, over time, compounding those habits over time, that's going to lead you to win. And again, wins are something I'll talk more about. So, waking up earlier is something that builds motivation and confidence that increases in all areas of your life. Now, that's something that's a little bit hard to articulate, but to illustrate that for you, I'm sure that we all have things that we are confident about and other things that we're not confident about. Let's say we're confident about academics or intellection or some sort of academic pursuit. But on the flip side, we might not be confident in trying to get dates or trying to talk to our boss about a potential promotion, having those crucial, uncomfortable conversations. Well, by waking up earlier, and again, getting back to this wins thing I've been talking about religiously in this video, when you set goals for yourself and you achieve those can be defined as wins. So the more that we win, the more confident that we grow. Because we're essentially proving to ourselves, when we're setting ourselves goals to achieve and we're achieving them, that tells ourselves that we're worthy and that we're high value and that we can do what we set our minds to. And over a period of years, and I've seen this in my life, many people have seen this in theirs, when you win repeatedly over time and your confidence keeps going up, your self-worth keeps going up, that translates to all areas of your life. So that'll cause you to become, using the example I was just talking about, that will cause you to become more productive in terms of, and more confident in terms of your intellectual skills and your skills with bargaining for that raise with your boss, or with trying to get dates with the opposite gender or the same gender, whatever you're into. That linear growth in multiple areas of your life is sort of like a killing two birds, or in this case, killing multiple birds with one stone approach. That's huge. That is massive and is an unfair advantage that has to be talked about, which is why I did. So let's not dilly-dally too much. Let's get to some of these last benefits here that I've seen in waking up earlier. One of them is an improvement in physique and weight loss. And this can be attributed in part to exercising, which I do before I go to work. But oftentimes, if we start waking up earlier, we will start eating earlier, sure. But if you wake up earlier and you do something called intermittent fasting, or you delay eating and you work out, that'll cause even more fat burn that you'd get on a full stomach, right? Because your body's already working on reserves. The meal that you ate last night has already been digested and the energy has been extracted. The waste is gonna come out. We don't need to get too much into science, right? But that's one of the really cool things about waking up earlier, especially when paired with some of these other things, is it can cause you to improve your physique, to lose weight. That feeds into confidence, that feeds into leveling up, that feeds into wins. Again, win, win, win. And that's something I'll talk about in future videos, because that's something that's huge. So again, feeding into the next point, if we take multiple habits and we pair them together, this will be essentially like Miracle-Gro is to plants as practicing these habits is to self-improvement and self-development. That is to say that pairing multiple of these habits together will cause you to level up, to become more confident, to get what you want in life at a way faster rate. Let's use a couple examples. Waking up earlier in the day, paired with cold showers, paired with exercising, paired with delaying that first meal of the day or intermittent fasting, could be another topic for another video as well. All those combined will just, again, using that analogy, will take fertilizer and will pour it on these plants, the plants being you, and you will literally grow at a rate that you couldn't have even imagined in terms of where you want to be. Now that's a pretty general blanket statement. Take that and apply it to whatever you're wanting to improve in, and I promise you, almost without a shadow of the doubt, that you will grow way faster in whatever it is that you want to grow in. So the last point in this video I want to bring up is an increased bravery. And by that, when you're achieving waking up earlier, getting things done earlier. If you've already gotten things done earlier in the day that you were hoping to get done, what does that leave at the end of the day? That might leave free time that you could choose to relax, which is fine. I'm not knocking this. I'm not knocking relaxation after a hard day of work or a hard day at your craft. That is totally okay. But if we take that additional time that we have freed up from doing things earlier in the day, that will oftentimes plant that seed in your mind to go on even more ballsy or creative endeavors, trying to do things that you wouldn't have otherwise tried to do if you didn't free up some of that time on the front end to have this free time on the back end. So how is that not extremely beneficial, right? If we are setting goals that are more brave, as again, we're exponentially leveling up, improving ourselves, increasing our worth, the more brave that you get, the more badass that you'll get, essentially. And people love people who are badass. People love those who go after what they want and get what they want. So those are essentially all the points that I can think of, at least as of right now. Feel free to comment some of the ideas that you have below in this video. Any future video suggestions, this is my first video, and although it's not super smooth, no cuts, no edits, some stuttering, that's okay. I'm gonna leave it in this video. I'm not perfect. As I go, as I start to learn more with simple video editing and the like, I'm sure I'll start to implement more of that professional approach. But again, thank you all so much for listening to me spiel for 15 minutes here, and have a great day.